Well, that's a blizzard. So that 78 storm was a doozy, but they actually had blizzard warnings, which is more of the wind as opposed to the snowfall. But the amount of moisture they saw, that was just a gnarly nor'easter.
That's nuts.
They come out swinging. They saw rapid intensification with that storm. We could geek out about that for as long as you want.
Yeah.
I was watching it like, whoa, can't believe it. Meanwhile, we were quiet. But I have a live view from Providence, Rhode Island tonight. So, yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you, I will say something about the Beehive State. We do so well with roads.
I was going to say, you don't want to drive on that, do you?
No, you definitely don't. But we clear roads. Our plows work overtime. But a quiet shot from Providence, Rhode Island tonight, that live view, just showing the amount of snow, 30 inches of snow in places. That is bananas. We saw that in New York. You're watching as that low continues to move north through the eastern seaboard and New England. And then we jump over to the Beehive State, where we have cloud cover and high pressure that actually dried us out from our winter weather that we saw last week over the weekend and into today. Now the cloud cover being carried with our westerly or zonal flow, and that's just a good indicator that moisture is present. We've got some changes. This is what our mountains looked like. Adam, thank you for taking this one. At Alta, where people were up and enjoying these mountains, we'll see some more snow and a winter weather advisory set to go into effect for the Wasatch Mountains as we head towards tomorrow morning. Western Uintas, Bear River Range, all going to fall underneath this. 8 a.m. is when we kick this off, and we're going to see heavy, wet, dense snow accumulating. But we're going to look at those snow levels because they're not typically what you think. We know that we're going to see strong westerly winds up to 80 miles per hour for those gusts on the exposed ridge lines. So that just means our avalanche threat remains high as we head into tomorrow and Wednesday. In our valleys tonight, gorgeous. Meg said the last 4 nights have just been dynamite with the sunsets, and I couldn't agree more. Meg, thanks for sharing. Mike had this one from Bountiful. That was Salt Lake. Love to see them. Clouds in the south as well with those really mild temperatures in the upper 60s. Ivans made it to 69, close enough to 70, but guess what? We're going to get there for the work week. Pretty sunset there. Highs today in Salt Lake, 57 degrees. Our average high is 48, so this high pressure just cranks the numbers above where we typically are. 40s on the eastern side of the state, 67 in St. George. Well, that is a mild day. We had winter last week. These look like spring numbers here. As we head into tonight, we're going to see increasing cloud cover, so partly to mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures staying in the 40s. We're pretty mild, and we stay that way as we head into the early morning hours because we've got a warm storm from the Pacific headed our way. Precipitation potential shows northern Utah here. The further north you go, the better chance that you get at seeing that valley rain mountain snow setup. We set back here, and you're able to kind of see why we're going to deal with this moisture surge. It includes this low pressure and high pressure, allowing for an atmospheric river that will make landfall, and that moisture will graze northern Utah. And you can see that it's not just us, it's the Pacific Northwest, California, and then into the Intermountain West. And with that narrow corridor of moisture, we could see a decent amount in our valleys and mountains. Our upper level futurecast shows the high that's been in control. Move that out of here as the area of low pressure to our north brings in those showers. Now the core of the moisture is pretty far north, but northern Utah still sees that chance. As we head into Wednesday, we continue with the wet weather as a weak cold front comes through. And then this high pressure cuts off the moisture source. So that means Thursday and Friday and even into Saturday, we get warmth and building temperatures. Now, I'm not locking in to that totally being the entire weather story because by late Sunday and into next week, we could see the potential of another low bringing in some wet weather. So when we deal with an atmospheric river, we have a tropical connection here that originated towards Hawaii, that moisture. With that warmth, we actually see snow levels rising for tomorrow. While those start at the mountain valleys, they're going to push to 9,000 feet. That weak cold front will drop it to about 8,000 feet on Wednesday, but that's the area that we're going to see accumulating snow. So we look at the future cast here. High pressure. I think by mid-morning, we're going to start to see that valley rain, mountain snow, and then that holds on into the afternoon and the evening here, becoming showery. This is Wednesday morning, and then we cut things off and we dry out for the remainder of the work week. How much is coming above 8,000 feet? Well, 2 to 8 inches there. Above 9,000 feet, 8 to 16 inches. So the top peaks of the upper Cottonwoods and Bear River range, you'll get heftier snow. We're expecting mixed precipitation with the onset of moisture in our mountain valleys, but it will be rain in our valleys and for our benches. How much? Anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to an inch, that's the models say. We take that with a grain of salt, but we like the fact that we're going to see some measurable moisture. 40s and 50s for those temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s in the south, and I just feel like, come on, 70, and then we get there for the midweek, and we go mid-70s. That's a beautiful 7-day in southern Utah. It's dry, but those temperatures are just lovely for February. Wasatch Front with the 50s and wet weather, drier Thursday through Saturday. Chance we could get some valley rain by the latter half of your weekend.
Ooh, all right, 78 in St. George, though.
I know. Bye. Let's get in the car. That just looks so good.
That's where Wes is
See you
headed.
there.